We straight. We straight. Let's run it, player. We good, player. Let's do this. You live on your side?
What? Not yet.
I'm live on my side.
I'm moving the monitor.
I'm live on my side. Do not say nothing that's gonna get you canceled, Jared.
I would never say anything that would get me canceled.
I say a lot of shit to get me canceled, but
we are live. We are live in my Ardarius Washington hoodie.
What? Are you a fan guy for real? For real?
No, I just happened. Somebody gave me a free TCU hoodie a couple years ago, and it's cold. So
fair enough, my guy. What's happening, folks? Jeff Kavanaugh is over there. Shouts out to him and his people. I'm Voch Lombardi. My gun come with a Carfax. You know who I shot with it. All that good stuff.
Sorry?
Huh?
What'd you say?
My gun come with a Carfax. You know who I shot with it.
Okay.
It's an extension of right brick on my brick. You'll don't worry about it.
Doski woski, peasky whiskey.
It's free. We got a lot of things to talk about today. We got this particular player that I think shakes up the top 15 of the draft. I thought I was done with potential first round people or whatever, but we got a little bombshell. We'll get into that a little bit later. It's February now, so we digging into the next 50 to 60 to 70 or so guys. Brother Jeff wanted to look at boring ass corners, so I was like, all right, cool. I'll look at some boring ass corners with Brother Jeff. And I got about 6 guys for us to talk about today, possibly 7, and we'll do a part 2 of this because it's a lot more that we could be talking about. And I have a philosophy question, all right, and other little things. So we're gonna do all that. But Jeff, sometimes I just passively call you Mr. Wolf because I'm a fan of the movie Pulp Fiction. So you might just hear me say 100% Mr. Wolf.
Yep.
Jeff Kavanaugh told me to listen to this country song, and it's cool. I listen to country music. Willie Nelson's fire. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Cash is fire. I don't go past the 90s. I stop at like Brooks and Dunn and all them, right? But he told me to listen to some cat I never heard of before. It's a song called Mr. Wolf and Mama Bear. And I wanted
to... me Mr. Wolf enough times, and every time you do it, I'm like, I know that's Pulp Fiction, but all I can think about is Robert Earl Keen's song, Mr. Wolf and Mama Bear.
Am I wrong for thinking that it was about a black couple that moved into a white neighborhood and they didn't want them there anymore? Am I wrong for that?
I have no idea. I've never really thought about it. You're probably not wrong. I just think it's hilarious that I think he just like dropped acid or something and then wrote a song, and it's all these different animals involved in some kind of weird crime going on in town, and it's insane.
But what got me off of it may be black people that moved into their neighborhood is black people don't really deal with opium and meth like that. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't really fool with that. Like, we may sell weed in your neighborhood, but we don't dig into opium and meth. That's past us.
Mr. Wolf did smoke opium and grin at Mama Bear. He did do that.
Right. So I'm putting Jeff up on Griselda. He puts me on Mr. Wolf and Mama Bear. You see how this goes? You see the disparity in quality that we putting each other up on and all that good stuff?
Awesome.
Whatever, Mr. Wolf. I have a philosophy question for you, sir, because as I was watching players, this kind of popped up in my little mind. I wanted your thoughts on it. First of all, if y'all want to go follow Jeff, he's Jeff Kavanaugh on YouTube. I know y'all hate me because I don't do a lot of mock drafts. I just kind of talk my stuff. So if you ever have the feeling for a mock draft, I think Jeff do one every day, and he's keeping count now. So
I haven't done one in at least a week, so I'm due to do probably 4 or 5 in the next 2 days. Yeah, you'll have a lot of mock drafts coming.
Jeff do so many mock drafts, he gonna pick the same collection twice. At some point, he's gonna do a mock and be like, I did this mock before, because he does them all the time.
Done it.
There you go.
Probably already done it.
I only do one. But if y'all want to do that, go over there. And if you on Jeff's side, I break down film over on my channel. I'm Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Let's get started. Jeff, let me ask you this question, sir.
Yep.
What's your philosophy on the hybrid football player? I feel like once upon a time, people weren't really keen on the idea of hybrid football players. Once upon a time, they used to just call them tweeners, right? Going into the draft last year, it was 2 ways you could have looked at a guy like Isaiah Simmons. You could either look at him and be like, oh, he doesn't have a position. Or you could look at him and be like, oh, that dude played 3 positions, right? And I think there was this hype behind Isaiah Simmons that spilled over into this class. And there are multiple people in the second level of the defense in particular that play multiple positions. And we're going to talk about a lot of them today, Brother Jeff. Let me ask you a question, sir. Like, what do you feel about that hybrid thing? Or do you want somebody that's a specialist in one thing?
I think the problem with the hybrid player has always been the coaches in the NFL, not the players, because they don't. I feel like so many coaches are going to say, well, what is he? What's he playing? What's he going to do? And I like, here you go, like my guy Ardarius Washington.
Sure.
My guy Ardarius. What is he? Is he our free safety? Sure. And he's your down safety, and he's your nickel corner, and he's your player. He's a football player. He's, Honey Badger lines up all over the place. That's what he is. So yeah, I'm not afraid of them, especially in today's NFL, especially if the tweener is like between safety and linebacker, because to me that's just a modern linebacker.
It's a lot of them. Yeah.
That means you're going to be a really good covering linebacker, and I love that. So I don't mind the tweener. It's just you just have to know, what am I going to ask him to do? And if you know what you're going to ask him to do and you feel comfortable with it, problem is like sometimes people will draft a tweener and not know what the hell they're going to do. Like Hassan Reddick, when he got drafted and they were like, yeah, we're going to make him an off-the-ball linebacker. I'm like, well, you've never seen him do it. You just used a top 10 pick.
Sure.
What the hell are you doing? And it didn't work. His best work is when they said, hey, go rush the passer, you 230-pound defensive end. And he was like, oh, yeah, I've done this before. I can do this.
Sure.
So I like the tweeners. I like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Just about to ask you. So how high do you take him though? Like 10? How high do you take Jeremiah at 10th overall? You'll take him
for sure. If you run it out and depending on what it looks like, and if you tell me, hey, if I take him, he's going to be my will linebacker, and I'm going to release a certain player, save $7 million. I'm going to spend that $7 million somewhere else. Then yeah, I'll take Koramoah at 10. No problem. I think he's that good. Yeah. I think he's the modern linebacker. You've seen him covering the slot. He's not going to do that for me. For me, he's going to be the best coverage linebacker in the league, and he can run and tackle. He can play the run. I think he's going to be a beast.
I agree with you. I'm just getting your thoughts on this. So when you're evaluating that player, like, is it a certain position that you rank higher than the other positions? Because if he was just a strong safety, he wouldn't be a first round guy. Or I mean, if he was a linebacker, he's probably better a linebacker than he is a safety. He even plays a lot more nickel than Javon Holland. I got some more commentary on Javon Holland later, but you'll see just in the Clemson game, he'll just play a whole gang of nickel the whole game. But I feel like his best plays came from linebacker, right? So do you just compile all that in your draft grade or whatever? Or do you be like, oh, I can't take him here, he's a strong safety, I can't take him there. But as a linebacker, I could take him there.
I guess I just kind of rank them where I would play them. Sure. So, like for me, Koramoah is only ranked as a linebacker, and he's my top linebacker because that's where I'm playing him. Could you play him at strong safety?
Sure.
Yeah. But I would rather have an elite coverage linebacker that's not weak against the run. Like I just think linebacker in today's NFL fits him like a glove. I think it's perfect. You can fly, you can slip gaps, you can hit, you can cover. Like that's my linebacker.
I think
if you wanted to play, like I think teams could do so much more than they do defensively, where you could run a defense where you've got a guy or two on the field that is like a safety linebacker hybrid, and he's playing linebacker. I've got a corner that's lined up at safety. I've got you just whoever I'm playing. If I need to be able to cover four dudes, you can put out so many different combinations. If you give me two hybrids in the same defense, sweet. I love it. It's a matter of if NFL coaches will actually do it right, or if they'll be like, well, here's how I coach and here's what I run, like a bunch of idiots in the NFL do.
Perfect. So why are we looking at someone like Hamza Nasruddin? Why are we looking at him as just a strong safety? Because I think there's a lot of people that's going to be looking at him as a linebacker. If you put that dude at linebacker and just make him a running tackle linebacker and just make him somebody that can cover people, I seen that dude covering the nickel. He can cover his ass off, and he can play some one high for you, and he's big enough. We're going to talk about another bigger, small linebacker. He's a small linebacker, but he's a bigger everything else, you know what I'm saying? But he can run still. So why don't we look at Nasruddin as a linebacker that can run fast? Because he probably runs faster than Koramoah. He might cover a little better than Koramoah. Koramoah may be a better pure linebacker than him. But why don't we talk about him up there with JOK? Why are we talking about Nasruddin as a safety, really?
I guess because you haven't seen him play linebacker.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different. But he is another guy that if you told me in the second round, or if he made it to the third round, that you told me you were going to play Nasruddin as a linebacker, I'd say kick ass. That sounds like a good plan. Same thing with my guy, Virginia Tech, Divine Diablo.
Sure.
You find me a safety that is 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and he's 220, 230 pounds, and you tell me you're going to play him at linebacker, I say kick ass. I think you understand how the NFL works.
Sure.
I think that's a really good idea.
Sure. I got a couple of tweeners. We just talked about tweeners. Let's just talk about some more tweeners. So I've been seeing a bunch of like little mocks and different little conversations or whatever. When it comes
mocks.
from
You hate mocks.
I hate mocks. Can't stand them. But they do give me an idea of what the people thinking about, right? Because when people see mocks, they run to Voch and be like, Voch, what do you think about this? And I don't have the heart to look people in the face that respect me and look at me in the face and be like, I hate it. I don't want to say it, so I just ignore it. So for some reason, people really high on Javon Holland, Oregon, and I've been hating. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I've been hating on Javon Holland for about 7 weeks now. It's been a couple of episodes of this thing. I've been hating on Javon Holland. So I went to the Twitter machine, right, and I was like, "Hey, y'all, if it's anything I'm missing on Javon Holland, what game do I need to watch?" Somebody told me go watch the Auburn game, and I did this live on Twitch. It's in my Patreon, patreon.com/vochlombardiyt. Go find it. I rewatched Javon Holland. Still hated him. Still can't stand him. I don't know your stance on Javon Holland, but he's another technical tweener dude, right? So do you think he's a dude that can project into free or can project into nickel or can project? And what do you have on him? Because I got nothing for you, sir.
See, I think that's the difference between tweeners, right? Like JOK is a tweener that if you told me you needed him to play safety, I'd be like, oh, he can do that. And if you told me you wanted to play linebacker, I'm like, man, he'd kick ass at that.
Sure.
But now let's do it with Javon Holland. If you told me Javon Holland is going to play corner, I would say, nah, he's not fast enough. And if you said Javon Holland's going to play safety, I'd be like, I don't know if he's a good enough tackler. So like, he's a tweener the wrong way because I don't know. I mean, I know he's not a corner.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Is he a down safety with some ball skills? Is he a up high safety that doesn't run all that well? And maybe he's a better athlete than I give him credit for, because like the one thing I do like about Javon Holland is I think he's a pretty smart player, and I think he can play a football. So like he's got things you could like. I don't know what he is. And if I don't know what he is, it's the kind of guy that I was doing the draft show today on DallasCowboys.com. We were talking about Shaun Wade. I'm not picking him. Right. Because I don't know what I'm doing with him. I have no idea.
But that's exactly how I feel about Holland. Like, I don't even see smart football player in him. I don't see it. I see somebody who just looks lost all the time. He looks lost. They created a position for him, and it may be because of like seniority, but they put him at nickel corner. He don't really cover nobody at nickel. He just get nickel and run to the flats. I seen Jeremiah Wosu-Koromora man cover more people from nickel than Javon Holland. Javon Holland just kind of floats in space. So if there's anybody in either chat box, whether it be yours or ours, because I think we have a very educated audience because they listen to us, can anybody please, I'll even watch a highlight tape, and I hate watching I hate highlight tapes, but
he's got some picks and some bat downs, right? So his highlight tape probably looks good.
I mean, Jeff, I got picks, I got bat downs, you know what I'm saying? But show me,
I'm telling you, it's going to be a nice highlight tape.
But show me some real shit, Jeff. I don't know, man. It's not adding up for me. Let's talk about your guy, Divine Diablo. I guess that's Divine Devil, which is an oxymoron somehow.
Heavenly Devil, the best.
Virginia Tech, he's another hybrid player or whatever. Now, as I'm watching him, I don't like him in every situation or whatever, because he's played some one high, he plays some box, he plays some linebacker. I think his best plays are going to come from the linebacker position. I like him better when he's running around and he's in a situation where he's faster than people, right? I seen him one high in some game, whatever, but I didn't like it. Maybe it was like Clemson or something.
Yeah, I've seen him drop back and be the single high safety, and I would never put him in that spot. He should be the strong safety at Virginia Tech, and a dude that's 6'3", 226.
Yeah.
Again, to me, he's a linebacker.
Sure.
Third round, he's a linebacker, because I've seen him. Like, he's not a bad coverage safety, but he's also definitely not a good coverage safety.
Sure.
Which means you'd be a good coverage linebacker.
Yes. In my mind, when you work down that, you work up somewhere else. I don't want him covering nickel corners, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Little guys.
You don't want slot receivers being covered by Divine Diablo or Hamza Nasruddin. You don't want that.
Sure.
Want that.
Go chase a tight end all you want, sir. Chase this slow running tight end all you want. I'm fine with Diablo there. But besides that, I ain't really got a big report on Diablo. That's just basically what we've been saying about him. Question though, as a coverage linebacker, do you like him more than North Carolina's Chad Surratt?
I don't like Surratt. I mean, I know that I'm the only guy in the world. Or I guess we're the only guys in the world. It's so weird that everybody's projecting him to be so good. Like for instance, turbo mode. Okay, I'm just gonna read my notes. This is Diablo.
Go ahead.
Plays the down safety for them. Well built, good looking player. Prepare for linebacker conversion. Moves well for his size. Power as a finisher. Plays all over. Single high to down. Covering guys in the slot. Length adds to his tackle radius. Line up in the box as well in blitz. Fluid and easy. Tracking running backs on run plays away from him. Can move and tackle. Makes a pass breakup as a backside guy on a post versus Clemson. Can run. Physical. Big. Can tackle. Interception off Lawrence's backside safety. Ran down Lawrence on a long run, so I know he can run. Really good player. Little quick guys in man coverage will be a bad matchup, but he's a good, smart zone player that can cover ground. Whatever, right? Yeah. All those words sound very, very positive. Sounds like a guy that I would want to draft.
Sure.
Now, let me see if I have my Surratt notes.
And he big as hell. he big. Can we just stress how big as hell he look on film? Go ahead, sir.
Surratt notes. Gets hung up on blocks. Spy versus Miami. Plays small. Can bring down De'Aaron King in space. Plays light in the run game. Offensive linemen move him easily. Can't get off blocks. Good speed. Nice job as a spy. Can move backwards and free himself in the screen and run game. Athletic tools. Good blitzer. Good downhill burst, overwhelmed and locked up by O-line on stretch plays, lost the ball on some zone reads versus Voch. That reads as a guy that you don't like. So that's how easy it is for me. Just go back to the notes. I don't like Surratt, and I do like Diablo.
It seems like every time he bumps into somebody, he's just falling down. I'm like, get up, my dude. What are you doing? Like, he just accidentally bumped into a left tackle, not engaging with him. The left tackle didn't even block him. He's blocking something in, but he just bumped into it, and he just falling the other way. I hate that, man. I hate it. So Chaz Surratt is a guy that I wouldn't draft on my team because I don't know what to do with him. He's in that Russo, Javon Holland, Paris Ford, combination for me. Wouldn't do it. I think I like Nasruddin as a linebacker more than Chaz Surratt because what people like about Chaz Surratt is that he's a smart cover dude, but he's not fast enough to go cover people full time. So he got to be a linebacker. But these other dudes that are about your size don't fall down when they bump into people. They tackle better. They pursue better. They chase better. Chaz Surratt is a smart player. He's a smart player. And you can see him covering in the Senior Bowl one-on-one practices or whatever. But when you put it in practical football, I need you to not fall down so much. He just looks fragile and frail out there. And he gets his numbers. Like, he gets it. Like, if you look at his game log, he'll get about 15 tackles a game. But
he's got 6 sacks, 7.5 tackles for loss. So he does well going forward.
Sure.
I don't know. He ain't for me either.
Not for me neither, player. Let's move on to some of these corners, sir, because you wanted me to look at corners.
Let's do it. Let's start this way then.
Go ahead, sir.
Let's start with Darius. Stopping by for the dollar menu.
Okay.
Is Horn's value equal to Farley and Surtain? So J.C. Horn, South Carolina corner. I mean, you can put him. My buddy Broadus has Horn ahead of Surtain.
Yeah.
For the moment, I have Surtain ahead of Horn, but yeah, I think it's fairly close. I think I just trust Surtain a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Horn is just so reliant on the physicality and the beating people up.
Sure.
But they're all first-round players to me, so I think Horn is close to Surtain.
Horn is my cornerback one guy. If I had to line those dudes up and trust them versus a number one receiver, I'm looking at Horn. And the one thing I learned about this whole draft thing, Jeff, I'm no expert, right? I'm just a dude that just do this, right?
Yeah, you're an expert.
I've learned to not sweat the small stuff. And if anybody looks at J.C. Horn, they're going to say grabby. Okay, subtract grabby. Can he play? They'll say, hell yeah, he can cover anybody. He can run. He's physical. He's competitive. Boom, boom, boom. He played against the kid from Auburn. The kid from Auburn got one big play on him, talked a little shit to him. Kid from Auburn never caught another pass the rest of the game. Super competitive dude. He's just grabby. So in my mind, if you take away grabby, in which you can do, you can coach out grabby. Great player. Can you coach Surtain to be faster? Maybe. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Can you coach Farley?
Why can't I just take away not fast? Take away the not fast. Is he a great player?
It don't work in that way. Just like I can teach Penei Sewell how to use his hands better. I can't teach Rashawn Slater how to be Penei Sewell's size and move that way. You know what I mean? It's just a phenotype, genotype thing. So Horn is my one guy. Take away grabby, that's what you got. And yeah, I think Horn should be in that conversation with the rest of them. But you can give yourself the ability to pass on corner depending on whatever scheme you're running, right? Like if you the Vikings and you gonna let Cam Dantzler not do things that puts Cam Dantzler in trouble, Cam Dantzler can be one of the better rookie corners in the league for you. You know what I'm saying? He could be better than Jeff Okudah. If they put Jeff Okudah in a very turbulent situation, he could look weird in his first year. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on how you run it. So that's a good question there, Darius. Good question.
And I want to shout out to Dallas. He stopped by for the dollar menu. He just wanted to say, been a while. How you been? Quit yet? I guess that's about tobacco. Mostly, I've had some slips, but mostly. Braden, I want JOK, but have hyphen baggage from Akwazi Owusu Ansah. That's fair. That's fair. If the hyphen throws you because you've seen a hyphen fail, I like it. I respect the angle you're taking there. But I think this hyphen is better than that hyphen. You'll be okay.
Jeff, hold on. Hyphen baggage is brilliant. Let me just hit you one time. No. Fam. Shouts out to that kid. Hyphen baggage is hilarious.
A whole different step than people who are like, I don't want a Michigan defensive end. He's like, I don't want a hyphen guy.
Hyphen guy is crazy. Anyway, I looked at a couple of guys. The first guy I looked at was Asante Samuel. And I kind of knew of him, but when you watch him a little closer, it's a lot different than knowing of him. And what I like this year is that there's a lot of small dudes that play like big people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be a small dude that just gets caught up in the nickel corner life. I got a player on this list that'll be a really good nickel corner, but I don't think that just because he's small that he should just play nickel corner. I think Asante Samuel, with his ball skills, with his anger, with his little dude intense anger thing or whatever, I think he can be a really good outside corner guy for you. I don't know if he's long or not because I ain't really got that eye. Like their film is kind of wide. So I ain't really got a good idea about how long he is. But if he's short and long, if he's that guy, he can be a Jordan Lewis type of guy for you. And I understand that, Jordan Lewis now give you a bad taste in your mouth, but Jordan Lewis coming out of school was a really good player for you. He was a really good small dude that played bigger than what he was. So that's just kind of in that same vein that I put him in. Can he play nickel corner? Yeah, he probably can because he's talented enough. He got the feet to do it, but I'm putting that dude outside the boundary somewhere. Jeff, what you got on Asante Samuel?
I'm putting him inside, and maybe it's unfair, but it's mostly – now, don't get me wrong. If I need him outside, I think he can play out there and he could be fine. Mm-hmm. But the Clemson game scared me. First two plays of the game, Trevor Lawrence looked at him and said, "You're tiny," and threw the ball straight up in the air. They caught them both, and then they pulled Asante Samuel off the damn field. He came back in, but it was two plays, and I was just like, oh, God.
Jeff, your safety one is 5'7".
My safety one didn't get mossed, though, twice.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I mean, try my guy. There's a reason they throw at the other safety at TCU because the year before they tried my guy. And my guy was picking off every pass thrown at him. So now it's like, why didn't you have any picks last year? Because nobody tries my guy.
Fair enough, sir. I cut you off. I apologize. I cut you off, my bad. Go ahead, sir. Tell us some more about Asante Samuel.
Oh, I love him. I mean, I do. I really love him. It's just the Clemson game because as I'm watching Samuel play, I'm like, okay, I know he's short, but I don't care if people are short. Tell me when it hurts them. And so as I'm watching, I'm like, love him, aggressive, instinctual, smart, not afraid of contact, ball skills, everything. Like he's got everything. And I started watching the Clemson game and I typed shit. Like, no, here comes the height thing. But look, there's not a lot of teams that are legitimately just going to try to go, hey, my receiver's taller than yours, I'm going to throw it up. That's not a thing all that often. So, yeah, I think he can play outside. But if I were picking him and I could put him wherever I wanted him, I think I'd play him in the slot, and I think he's going to be awesome at it.
Fair enough. I think he could do both. I really like him. I don't know if I asked you this about Diablo, but what round do you take Diablo?
You don't want to know where I graded him?
I would love to know where you graded him.
Most people got him as like a 6th-round player. I put him in the 2nd.
Damn. Okay. That's your thing, Jay. That's your thing. So like let me do my thing. So like early 2nd or like late 2nd?
Like mid to late. Mid to late.
So you taking him over Marvin Wilson?
You're barking right up the same tree.
Yeah.
Marvin Wilson. Depends what I need, Voch. Depends what I need.
Fair enough.
Whichever position I need more of, they're close enough.
Boy, we're gonna watch wide receivers one day, and I'm gonna make this shit real difficult for you. You lucky we kept this thing down to a certain whatever. And where would you take Asante Samuel Jr.?
I would take Asante Samuel Jr. anytime after like 25.
Oh, okay. Cool. So
Asante Samuel Jr. is going to go in the top 40 picks, and I think he should.
For me, Diablo is like a third, like a day 3 guy. So
See, everybody hates my people. I
don't hate him.
I find a random guy that nobody likes. I'm like, oh, I like him, and everybody else is like, well, you shouldn't like him that much. And it turns out everybody else is right. I'm going to be right one of these times.
I don't hate him. I just think he plays a lot of free safety, and he's not good at it. But as a linebacker, he's a running, tackling linebacker dude. That's one of those picks that you take the first round of day 3, you rush to go get them dudes. So within the first 5 picks, I think that's when he goes. Asante Samuel, I take him like late second, early third maybe. That's just because I think that we're pretty deep at corner within these rounds or so.
That's true, we are.
Rule of 2, drop 5 in the super chat. My man's came with the Keith Sweat. Nobody. You was talking about you, which Keith Sweat dropped. Go ahead, sir.
The ninja said I pulled out the Keith Sweat.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we are simpatico, sir. I think this fella got 2 YouTube accounts. He just dropped it on both.
And who can draft them like me?
Now, this next player, go ahead, get your money.
I don't know what a super sticker is, but shout out to Donovan. I love you. You're a beast.
Get your monies. Shouts out to Donovan. Paulson Adebo is very interesting, Jeff.
I've got 2 games sitting on the laptop waiting for me to watch him. I haven't seen him yet, but I do know where he's working out, and I do know that he's running 3.89 short shuttles.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we can wait till next week to look at them, but you know what I like to do is look at the game logs first. I love the game logs. They just tell me what's going on, and I've watched film on him before. Like I've watched a lot of guys this year, last year, because you just know about names and you just watch guys on accident. He was really good in 2018. He had 17 pass deflections in 2018, and I was like, shit. But in 2019, people just kept running past him because they just understood that he was a tall, lanky dude that didn't turn very well. That's to whatever. But
and then he came back to school to fix his draft stock and opted out.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the big problem, right? These guys that just didn't go back when they needed to go back the most. That's going to make things hard for me. But I think he's one of those dudes to where it depends on how you use him, right? If he's a cover 3 dude, well, all he got to do is run with his back to the sideline and be long, he's fine. If he's a man cover dude, they got to cover Amari Cooper, then good luck to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We got Mr. Unknown, one of my favorite people, Unknown.
Unknown's a beast.
Let's draft Molden in the second and not worry about DBs until next year. Okay, so that's Elijah Molden, Washington, and he plays slot corner for them.
Let's talk about him. Go ahead.
Like anybody who likes Javon Holland, go watch Elijah Molden.
Yeah,
that's what you want there because they kind of not the same thing, but they line up over the slot and they'll do a lot of dropping into zones. But Molden's the one that's more athletic, a better tackler, and goes and gets the football all the time. He's a beast.
See, Jeff, it's like when I look at what they say about Javon Holland, that ended up what Molden was. Molden plays like a safety sometimes. Like I was looking at his game logs. We back at game logs, and it was one game he had like 14 tackles. And in my mind, when cornerbacks get tackles, you suck because they picking on you and they keep throwing at your ass.
You must be giving up catches. I look at the damn Elijah Molden film. He got tackles because he just wants some. He just go hits people. You know what I mean? Like and you know, there's a lot of guys that really need the combine so you can know how they move or whatever. You know how Elijah Molden moves. His little ass in the open space, he just changing directions. He's flipping around. He's turning. He's so good in open space. Now, he's a little dude that's going to play nickel. But I think he can play nickel because he got two-way quickness. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's in the middle of the field, if you know somebody can go left or right, he's quick enough to go left or right. That's what I mean, two-way quickness. Second round.
I agree. He's a somewhere in the second round type of guy. I don't want people to devalue nickel corner like they've devalued guard and one tech somehow. Nickel corner is important for you because everybody running trips, everybody's running nickel now. So you need nickel corners. That little ass dude, he's about 5'10" or so, but it's not like he's 5'10" and bashful. He tackled more than people that's bigger than him, Patrick Surtain. So I mean,
I mean, he's not 5'10", 175, 180. I don't have his. I can probably find his weight real quick, or at least I can see if I have it in my notes. But he's not a skinny short like my guy Darius Washington.
He's a thick little dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a thick little dude.
Yeah, 100%. Donovan Berg came over here and dropped 5 my super chat. Appreciate you, sir. He says, can Melifonwu play free safety? Where would he go? We're going to talk about Melifonwu in a second. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, rule of 2 dropped into mine. 1 account, patient 0. Stopping in for a combo meal. Appreciate you. Rule of 2. Look the team. Look at the team.
Hey, man, you got to love what the people do, man. They just hop on both sides. That's scary as hell. What was that?
Oh, that was an accident. I just clicked on, what was that? Thank you, Don. Oh, they're talking about Paris Ford in the chat.
Are they saying mean things about Paris? They should only say mean things about Paris Ford.
Some people are saying mean things, and people are saying nice things. Don likes Paris Ford. Human missile, he says.
No, he's not. All right, moving on. We just talked about Paulson Adebo. Let's get into Melifonwu from Syracuse. Senior Bowl guy. Looked pretty okay at the Senior Bowl. I think if you look at his scouting report, it'll look a lot like Caleb Farley's scouting report. Not the same, but I think he's a raw athletic dude. I watched the Clemson game and like one more game, forgot which one.
North Carolina, maybe.
Yes,
sir. That's what I got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's a raw athletic dude. Pretty good size, can move pretty well. I think he's aggressive. Finishes well. I mean, there's some technical things that he got to work on in terms of spacing and identifying routes and things like that. But he way better than his brother. The problem with his brother wasn't a Olympic athlete that didn't know football, or he just didn't grasp football. I guess
he also didn't like football was part of his problem.
There you go. It seems like Ifeatu Melifonwu, it seems like he likes football a little more and that he understands what's going on in front of him. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a whole lot to like with Melifonwu. I got him as like a 2nd round guy because 6'2", 212, long arms. Like that's a good start already, and. Like he's athletic enough, as you would expect for a guy that big. He's not real twitchy, but he is athletic.
Sure.
One thing I would kind of nitpick with him is like I think he is big, strong, fast.
Yeah.
But I don't think he always plays that way. Like you should throw receivers to the ground going to get the ball when you are built and can move like he does, and he doesn't necessarily do that.
Yeah.
I think he's good. Like I think he'll fit. I think if you wanted to move him to safety, you probably could. But I think he fits well with like a cover 3 team that plays some man. Really, the Cowboys. Like I think he fits what you want. I think he's a 2nd round guy.
Interesting that you said Cowboys. I saw a lot of like Trevin Diggs in them, you know what I'm saying? And I don't do player comparisons, but in the way that, okay, he's a super athletic dude that probably don't know football, but athleticism can get him there till he figures it out. I see a lot of that when I watch Melifonwu. So
he's got to learn to tackle a little bit because I saw 3 times in one game where him being as tall as he is, like he's trying to tackle like around the shoulder pads and the neck, and he's too high up, and dudes just run right through his tackle attempts, and that's not okay. And Bobby Belt, I will punch you directly in the mouth.
Hey.
Just wanted to say J-Ron Kearse is better than our Darius Washington. J-Ron Kearse is my least favorite prospect I've ever watched at Clemson. I was like, he doesn't look like he wants to be here. I've never seen him try. So screw you, Bobby.
Like he was like, but you know what though? Let me just say it's about Bobby. Let me just talk a little mess about Bobby. Bobby likes Darisaw. I think Darisaw is lazy. Maybe Bobby likes lazy players. Like Bobby really likes Darisaw.
I like Darisaw. I think he's just not as athletic as the other top guys, and so you're calling him lazy because he's just not as athletic.
There are plenty unathletic guys that are high effort guys. He looks lazy to me, and I've watched a couple of films where I'm like, you know what? I wish if he just picked his feet up a little bit more, he'll be fine. Because Orlando Brown is a big guy that doesn't move very well, but he's also length, strong. Don't let me touch you, guy. But when I touch you, you're done, guy. I think if Darisaw's effort was a little bit more, he can be that guy. But I don't think he's that guy because he's a little lazy in my mind. I could be wrong.
I just think you're a hater. I just want to say hi to Donovan because this sounds like a great idea. Getting back on the fireball when the city opens back up. Can't wait. Okay.
My mom is in my chat box. So what's up, Mom? Salute to you. Hi,
Mom Lombardi.
Time to stop cussing and all that. Let's see. Melifonwu, Elijah Moe. We talked about Elijah Moe. Cool. Hey, yo, Jeff, you ready for the big talk?
You ready? You waiting for?
You ready for the big talk, Jeff?
I know.
So, peep this out. Let me just kind of set this up a little bit. I was on the Twitter machine. I was taking a walk the other day. I was on the Twitter machine, right? And I'm seeing this hubbub about Mel Kiper and his board. I normally ignore everything that Mel Kiper does. That's just how we get down in the YouTube streets, right? And he was, the talk was alluding to this player, this cornerback, Kelvin Joseph from Kentucky. right? They were saying that he was in this top board. And it may have been you, Jeff, or somebody else or whatever. I just saw our Twitter scout community or whatever. PFF hasn't said anything about this guy. Dane Brugler hasn't said anything about this guy. So I just passed it off as, okay, cool, whatever. But then the more we think about it,
I went and watched him because Mel had him as his 25th player. And I'm like, what the hell? Who is this? And so I'm like, fine, I'll look him up.
100%.
I watched 2 games. I started tweeting. I was like,
100%.
He can play. Yep, we have a corner that we hadn't talked about yet that belongs in the conversation with the top 3, 4, 5 guys.
So, Jeff, you say top 3 or 4 or 5 guys. I think he better than Surtain. Off the rip. I'm just kind of watching him, right?
Hate.
Jeff, I don't care. I don't care. Jeff, I'm just watching him, right? And the more I watch him, these are the games I watch, Jeff. I watch a whole heap of games, and I sent some games to Bobby's thing so that he can put them in the thing so everybody can look at them.
Okay, I've done Mississippi State, Florida, Tennessee.
I got also Auburn and Georgia. Okay. I watched all of them, and I don't get obsessed with cornerback play because I can't stand corners, but I kept having to watch them just to make sure I'm not missing something. That dude got IQ. That dude got ball skills. They threw an interception in Mississippi State, and that dude's speed just to catch and block somebody,
I love it when people see things that I see, because in my notes, I swear to God, it says teammate had a pick in the Mississippi State game, and him running down the field, he's the fastest man out there.
The left defensive end just stumbled into an interception, and he smoked, because I was watching, and they weren't throwing to him. For a whole half, Mississippi State wasn't throwing to him. I was like, I really wish I can get a gauge for his speed. Dude caught the interception, started flying. Then they tried him. On the other side of the field, smoked him. Then they tried him again, interception. I'm like, I got to keep watching this dude. Kyle Pitts had like a big play against him. One big touchdown against him. I'm like, uh-oh, Kyle Pitts got him. Then they lined Kyle Pitts up outside. They put him over Kyle Pitts the rest of the game, shutting down Kyle Pitts, Jeff. I'm watching Georgia. I'm watching all these other games. And I'm like, this dude ain't got a speed problem. He not gonna have a problem with these speedy people. This dude got high IQ. This dude ain't got a problem with like technique and nuance. He's passing Caleb Farley as I'm having this conversation, Jeff. He's 6'1", long as hell, can run, good size. Then he starts tackling people, Jeff. He don't do it much, but he starts tackling people.
He plays a little light.
Jeff, he started tackling people better than Surtain. That's all that matters to me.
He plays a little light. His name is Kelvin Joseph. A lot of people are asking, who? This is Kelvin Joseph, Kentucky corner.
Jeff.
He may be a first-round guy.
Oh, Jeff. I'm just sitting up here watching this dude, man, and at first I was like, okay, cool. He's one of those tall, long cover 3 dudes, and then he just started man covering people, and he was good in man coverage. Jeff, I'm not one to just hype people up just because. I'm actually the guy that hates on the people that everybody's hyping up. That's the guy I am. I hate Javon Holland. I do not hate Kelvin Joseph. I keep wanting to call him Johnson. Kelvin Joseph. I'm not hating on Kelvin Joseph. That dude is. I got to rewatch J.C. Horn, and I do have to rewatch Caleb Farley. Nothing is official till April, so bear with me. But as of now, that dude's my cornerback too, Jeff.
He's a beast. I mean, at the moment, he is my cornerback 4. But, yeah, I mean, same thing. I put him right in front of my short guys, my Elijah Molden and my Asante Samuels that I really, really like. Mm-hmm. So I've got Joseph as like a late 1. Yeah, I mean, I thought I really, really, really liked him, but then you started talking, and I'm like, damn, I got one up. But I'm a big fan. So, and the thing is because not a lot of people are talking about him.
Yeah, that's what.
Even though Kuiper did throw him in there as a top 25 guy.
Yeah.
I bet. I know he was an LSU transfer.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
I bet what happened is I know it was like a team violation thing that's nobody has said what it was, and people on Twitter have been telling me a bunch of stuff about weed, and I'm like, I don't care about weed. Sure. But if that's enough smoke in the NFL to drop him to 44, man, let's just take our kick-ass corner in the second round. We can use our first round pick on something else.
I take him at 10, Jeff. I don't think he's gonna be there. I don't think he's gonna be there at 42, Jeff. He's not gonna be there. Okay, Jeff, let me ask you a question. Did you watch the Florida game, by the way?
I watched part of the Florida game, but after the Pitts touchdown, I was watching some other stuff too, and I started watching the other stuff, so I'm going to have to go back and watch the rest of it, and if he locks down Kyle Pitts, I'll probably have to move him.
Jeff, go back and watch. Jeff, he got a play at the top. It wasn't against Pitts. It was against the Copeland kid. He got a play at the top of the screen on the right side to where the Copeland kid is trying to set up a fade. But he's setting up a slant with a fade. But he's so patient, right? He's patient, and he puts himself in position where if you run a fade, I'm just gonna turn and run with you because I'm so confident I can run. But if you fake it just to run this slant like I think you running, you're gonna have to run through me, Jeff. Just that small nuance in his play, Jeff. Just that small little. If you got a patient, high IQ, can run long ass corner, Jeff Kavanaugh. Come on, son.
Well, that's how I know that you have the player right, is because you're reading my notes to me.
Come on,
because you're talking about it having that play in a different game, but I wrote that down during the Mississippi State game where I was like, he's super patient at the line, his feet stay active. You're not going to trick him on a release. He's going to let you do what you want to do.
Maybe it was Mississippi State. But it was one of the games.
Whenever you actually break is when he's going to go. Like, you're not going to lose him at the line. He's going to be there.
Jeff, when I look, okay, so if I'm just going down the list, and it's the last thing I'm going to move on, we're going to do Q&A and get up out of here. If the things we don't like about Farley is his nuance and his technical corner stuff. What we're dinging Surtain on is his, deep speed or whatever, question mark, whatever. We got that in this kid. And he's not little bitty. I just don't see where the rest of the conversation is. And the bad part about it is I go to the YouTube. They ain't even got film on my guy, man. They ain't even got broadcast film on the YouTube of my guy. They just got the Alabama game, in which I want to go see the Alabama game just to see how he did against Devontae Smith.
I hear he played Devontae Smith well.
I believe him. I believe it because he does well against the route runner guys. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. But as of now, he's my cornerback too, Jeff. Where would you draft him?
20s. God, you might be right. I don't know why I'm not willing to go there yet. Let me watch more games.
Please.
But there's enough good there. Like, I mean, and the notes basically read that he can play any coverage too. He does a good job being physical and rerouting when they're in cover 2. He plays his third super well in cover 3. The Mississippi State pick where he's playing cover 3 and he's able to bait it in between 2 different guys and then turn and get to the sideline, get the pick. Like, he can play 2, 3 man. The only real negative I had on him was that he plays light. That he's like he tries and he wants to compete and he wants to fight with these receivers, but they block him.
Sure.
Like, he's trying to get off blocks, but he's kind of stuck. But
yeah,
he plays light. That's kind of the one thing I got so far. We'll see.
What's his face from Auburn, number 15 or whatever, was blocking the hell out of him. He was getting all up in his face and just little boying him. But when it came down to the coverage, hey, he probably got 2 plays. He probably got 2 plays on him. Whatever. We're gonna move on. Everybody in my chat box and Jeff's chat box, we're gonna find a way to get this information to you or whatever, so y'all can see for yourself. I'm not just hyping this up just to kind of just hype this up, man. This is this dude can play.
Kelvin Joseph is a good player. He should have been talked about a long time ago. People let us down by not having him on their list when we were working through this stuff.
Can't believe they let Nas down. Unknown came and dropped 5 in my super chat. Appreciate you, sir. If y'all have any questions for me or Brother Jeff, you can take this time to put it in your chat box. Now we're at the 42-minute mark. We're probably going to be gone by like the 48. So if y'all got them, get it in now. But don't get it twisted. If I don't see good questions, we can be gone at 44. So if y'all have anything.
Gone at 43. You better believe it.
Hey, man.
All we need is time for Voch to say Peasky Whiskies and the Woski Poskies.
Yes, sir.
I messed that one up. What's the first one?
Doski Woski Peasky Whiskey.
Doski Woski Peasky Whiskey.
But in the OutKast song Chunkify, he says Yoski Woski, which is different. Yeah. I don't see Jeff. You see? There you go. Okay,
Jeff, what did you think of Dak coming out of college? Screw you, leave me alone. I thought he was a 4th-round pick, and then I look back and I read my notes. And you know what I did with Dak Prescott? I let the rest of the world tell me where to put a player because nobody else was talking about him being good. I went back to my notes and I was like, ball placement, good, accuracy, good. And I'm like, all these things that I wrote about him are very positive. Why did I put a 4th-round grade on him? And the answer was because I was a coward.
Took a Mississippi State team with Josh Robinson and De'Rania Wilson to number 1 somehow.
I called him DeJogya because he couldn't run.
right.
But he couldn't run.
He went to the league, was too fat to play receiver, got to the league, got to tight end, and was too fat to play tight end. Just like Alger Crumpler.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Shaq Edwards dropped 5. It says, how y'all feel about JOK and the Derwin James comparison? I think they're different.
Yeah, their roles were I guess, you know what, their skill sets might be kind of similar.
Yeah.
But their roles that they played were so different. Derwin played, even more of a DB role, but also like a pass rusher. He was a weird. It's just a matter of how each school treats their star player and what position they create for him. Because Derwin's job at Florida State was created too. I forget what they call it. They might have called it the star.
Some miss.
And JOK is kind of I guess it's kind of similar.
This what it is. This
they
what it is.
Remind me of each other, really.
This what it is. Derwin is a strong safety that's good at free safety that played some linebacker. JOK is a linebacker that's good at strong safety that plays some nickel corner. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
They have different homes.
Pretty much. Good question, though, Shaq. Kyle says he dropped 5 in the super chat. He says, coming from a Kentucky fan, Joseph didn't get looked at because Kentucky football doesn't get a lot of airtime. Fair. That's fair. I didn't see no Kentucky on my TV guide, but that's a good thing about this time. We can watch film on anybody. Kelvin's not cornerback number 1 yet. J.C. Horn is my number 1 guy. Question for Jeff. This is from Tyler the Scout. He's also one of my scouts in my little universe. He says, what position are you most confident in breaking down, Brother Jeff? Jeff loved wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm confident receiver. I'm a receiver whisperer. I can do receiver. Yeah. Outside of my one massive miss.
Treadwell.
Treadwell. Yeah. I referred to him as Mini Dez.
Treadwell lied to all of us. You know what happened to Treadwell? This the problem with Treadwell. When Treadwell,
well, actually, I know part of what happened to Treadwell. If you want to know what happened to Treadwell, I can tell you what happened to Treadwell.
I was gonna say something goofy like football evolved as soon as he got to the league, but you got a story. Go ahead, sir. What happened to Treadwell?
Laquan Treadwell is that's a mean word. I was gonna say stupid.
He's stupid. I say it for you. Is he stupid?
Treadwell, there was a reason he lined up on the sideline where his team was every play.
He didn't get his playbook. I got you.
He needed to be next to his coaches.
Yeah.
And so when he got to the Vikings, they were like, oh, he doesn't know the plays. This is a problem.
I got to go back and watch, was it Ole Miss film? I got to go back and watch what side.
He will always be on his sideline when he lines up.
That's so hilarious. I got to go check that out. And set it off, Chris dropped 5 in the super chat. He dropped a little super chat sticker as well with a little Tweety Bird looking thing, I reckon. Hey, man. Appreciate you. Set it off, Chris, and the Tweety Bird sticker. Jeff, you got any more monies over there before we dip out?
No, sir. Nothing else except that I love you. Man, y'all are fighting in the chat. Y'all listen, my chat is a friendly zone, okay? Y'all be nice to each other, damn it.
Hey, man, you better get some admins to clean that stuff up, dog. My admins don't play, dog. They shoot over here, dog. They get them up out of somebody.
Admins? You got admins?
Joe Sandberg just kicked somebody out of my chat box. I don't even see them. I don't even know they there, Jeff. I don't even see the negativity because they snipe by the time I look over there.
Do y'all know Voch's net worth? This dude has admins. Hold the hell on. Hold on.
Hey, hold on. Hold on, Jeff. Let me get you a button. Let me get you a button. Let me You go? Go ahead.
Don't really care about the draft. I just enjoy y'all. But this tip is for all the light you shine on mental health and the struggle. Thank you, Rule of 2. Yeah, mental health is a bitch. If you're out there and you deal with anything, that's cool. Me too. I got you. You got me. Remember, there's lots of us. We're not alone. Whole bunch of us out there. It's cool. We fight.
100%, Mr. Wolf.
I'll be talking to my therapist tomorrow, so don't be afraid to get you one. They're amazing.
Jeff, let me ask you a question before we leave. Last one. Are you a movie guy?
Not really. Like, I haven't been to the movies in forever, but there are, like, if I see something I think looks good, I'll watch it.
Have you seen Pulp Fiction and Godfather?
I've seen Pulp Fiction. I don't think I've seen Godfather.
I just watched Godfather as an adult for the first time. And this is the difference between watching Godfather as an 18-year-old and watching as a 28-year-old. It's a lot of shit that you got to take in or whatever. I was going to ask you a question. You ain't seen Godfather? Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I want to recommend something to everybody out there.
Go ahead.
What's it called? In and of Itself on Hulu. I'm not going to tell you anything about what it's about. It's 90 minutes. Just watch it. That's all I'm saying. Just watch.
Hold on, let me go to my notepad because I gotta go. You say that's a tongue twister. What the hell you say?
In and of itself.
In and of itself. That's weird.
But the and sign, not the word and. It's in and of itself. Casa de Finch, Jeff, sorry, this sample guy's telling everyone they don't know what they're talking about. He's a joke. Okay, we're going to have to get into admin. I don't know how that works. I'm going to admin.com.
No, you just got to go next to a person and there's a little 3-dot option that's going to pop up and just hit that and be like, create admin. But don't just make anybody admin because then they just go.
You got to be careful. You got to find somebody who, I don't know. I don't trust anybody in my chat.
I got killers in my chat. All right, y'all. If you want to check out what Voch does, Voch do film film breakdowns. Voch do these shows. I'm gonna have another show just myself where I take calls and let y'all call in. Interacts called Lombardi's Draft Talk. I do that the day after I do these shows with Jeff, which is normally Wednesday, so I do them on Thursday. But since it's Thursday, I'm doing it tomorrow on Friday. Tune into that and come over and sub to my show. Everybody that's on my side, go check out Jeff. He's going to break down. I got Cowboy fans on my side mostly, so check him out for your daily Cowboy news. He's on the radio, 105.3 The Fan Radio. He's on Twitter, JC 105.3. And he does mock drafts that y'all keep asking me to do that I don't do. I'm really selling Jeff on the mock draft thing.
I will do this for you.
Oh,
I will
goodness.
do this. Voch will put tape on the internet that I won't because I don't want to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for tape, go get with Voch. I'm going to watch it myself and not share it with you so I don't get in trouble. Voch will show you some stuff, and I'll do your mock drafts.
The key is don't put a lot of tape on the internet. That's what I'm not doing. It's putting a lot of tape. I hit that limit, and I get the hell out of there. With that being said, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski. The Peasky Whiskey is free. Go watch In and of Itself on Hulu. Go watch Mr. Wolf. Go listen to Mr. Wolf and Mama Bear. Peace, y'all. I'm gone. Holla at you.
And Apex, he said, hit me up with the mod. When I hit the buttons over here, it just says timeout and block. So I don't know how to make you a mod. I'll figure it out later. But everybody.